Watch your step, stranger. Those plants are hard to grow out here, and harder to replace. Now, you don't look like the scrap rats that swarm around the place, and you don't look like one of the crazies from the lab. So what brings you here? The Fremen? Kynes mentioned them to me in a letter. I was looking forward to meeting them, but by the time I got to Arrakis, they had been wiped out. Derek Chinara, planetologist, botanist, and political exile, I'm afraid. I've been stuck out here for a while. I learned the hard way. Never say the wrong thing to someone from Kytane. Cyprian Io. I loathe that name. Barely a planetologist at all. To think of the legacy of the Kynes in the hands of this fop makes me sick. I would gladly teach you, but there is something I must do. Perhaps we can help each other out. You look like something that stumbled out of a shipwreck. I don't have any way to pay, unless you're interested in a planetary ecology lesson. That's easy. Somewhere in the station is a manifest containing a full log of the supplies that were sealed within. Bring me the manifest. Be careful. The people in that lab are odd. I hadn't gone very far into the lab when some of them charged at me, screaming and brandishing knives. They were covered in gore. I ran. It was unnerving. I'm not timid by nature, but I didn't want any part of whatever was happening. I came up here and set up this camp. You have? That's incredible. I thought those crazies down there would keep me stuck here forever. Oh, wonderful. Say what you will about the old Empire, but they knew how to keep a record. Yes, of course, I haven't forgotten. Pay attention. Life, all life, is in the service of life. There. Though I must confess, I wasn't expecting such an apt pupil. It was more like you were remembering than learning. Odd.
Contracts have all been signed and certified, Captain, and your advance has been passed on through chosen channels. This operation is costing me a fortune, so I expect quick results. My agents have located the hideout of the Kirab who hijacked our water transport. Your force is to punish the bandits and recover what water you can. Remember, any necessary correspondence is to come directly to me, not anyone else at the Guild.
Don't shoot, don't shoot! I'm unarmed, and... Oh, it's you! My erstwhile apprentice. Keep your voice down, please! I'm still trying to complete my audit, but the difficulties continue to mount. The Cho mercenaries up top sneered at my Imperial seal, but they let me past. But as soon as I went inside, people started trying to dart me. So I retreated, and I've been here considering my options. Until you showed up, my well-armed friend. I'm just remembering how competent a certain somebody was back at testing station number 2. Maybe we can revisit our arrangement? Here's what I am proposing. You get inside the testing station and, just like last time, find me the mnemic films containing the reports. In return, I'll teach you some more about the practical applications of planetology and ecological systems. Deal? Once again, I am in your debt. I'll... wait here then? Shall I?
Dr. Verde was right. There is water here. The problem isn't finding it. It's keeping it. Our very first bore turned up water aplenty. It was deep, but we initiated a strong flow. We barely finished patting each other on the back when the flow trickled out. The same with our second bore, and our third, and almost a dozen others. Always the same. A strong flow that quickly dries up. None of the big brains seems to have an answer for it. Dr. McCain wants to investigate that oily residue that keeps coming up on the equipment. She thinks it might be organic in nature. Could that somehow be the problem?
By all that's holy, Lazaro, you were right. The water transport had far fewer guards than we normally see. It was a simple matter to overwhelm them. And the ice. Ice from the pole, Lazaro. I never thought to see such a sight. We are bringing the transport back to the station by secret paths. Have the tank prepared. The thirsty of the region will soon be coming to us with their solaris in hand. We will all be rich as nobles.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching. Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Hey, Captain. I know a fellow who's a grunt for the Water Shippers Guild, and he told me something you might want to know. That guild exec that hired us, Oren Razin? Well, it seems he has been trying to impress his bosses by reducing expenses. Only one of the ways he tried to save money was by cutting back on security for his ice shipments. The Kirab probably wouldn't have been able to hijack that shipment if it had the required number of guards. And now, Larsen's desperate to try and fix things before the hammer falls. Thought this info might be useful if we want to try to screw some extra money out of him.
This will be my last entry for... well, maybe for good. We've just received word that the protest against the thinking machines have escalated into a full-scale war. Everyone says it's a struggle for the very existence of humanity. While the testing stations are being evacuated, we're shutting everything down while we await transport. I hope they hurry.
Welcome, visitor, to Imperial Desert Testing.
You're back. Good, good. I haven't dared to move too far. I don't think I can rely on my Imperial credentials around here. I knew I could count on you, of course. Thank you, friend. Planetology is a practical vocation, but I've never been much of one for violence. I promised you more planetology training, yes? Meet me at my camp in the South Haga Basin. I don't think this is a conducive environment for learning. I've been thinking about Kynes and the testing stations, this focus on changing Arrakis. There used to be a dream on this planet that it could be something more. I think that is why Kynes sent me that letter. I'm an uncommonly good botanist. I'm not boasting. It's why I ended up on Kytane in the first place. And why else would Kynes want me? There are dozens of better options in the field of planetology. That's the thing, I just don't know. But there might be a way to find out, if you'll help me with another task. I need you to deliver a report of my progress to my superior, Cyprian Io. And while you're there, I need you to convince him to give me access to Kynes' research, which he would have inherited as planetologist for Arrakis. He's a product of the Regis Familia, with everything that entails. A good family, a strong bloodline, and wealth beyond imagining. But that has made him spoiled, lazy, and incompetent. I doubt he understands more than the basic fundamentals of planetology. Yet, here we are. Be careful. While Arrakis is under the guild peace, I don't doubt that he holds petty grudges. Just deliver the report, make the request, and leave. Here, take these Shigawire reels. They contain the details of my audit thus far. As for Cyprian Io, I suspect he'll still be in Arrakis. He was holding court at the Seleucid Bull, an officer's bar, when I last saw him. Look for him there. I remember. I've spent so much of my recent life as a scholar that I'd forgotten what it was like to get my hands dirty in the field. For the older generations, yes, field research was a major component, really understanding the planet, you know? A myriad of ecosystems. It's why Pardot Kynes was such an inspiration. A man who walked the walk, lived amongst the Fremen. I wish I could have met him. Or his child, Liet Kynes. I wonder... No. Let's just focus on your training. I left my life at the Academy to come here and help the Kynes. I feel like, even with both of them gone, I could do more. Never mind. Then pay attention. A planet is merely an expression of energy, a machine being driven by its sun. Relationships within relationships. There. I hope some of this will be of use to you. You remain a suspiciously apt pupil.
Why is this person speaking with us? Portafoy, would you remove them from my sight? Wait. Portafoy, disregard last order. We must not physically harm the peasants. I can already hear grandmother's lecture in my head. Oof. It appears that now that I am Imperial Planetologist, it is unseemly to harm the paws, even just for fun. Very well, what do you want? From whom? A fellow planetologist, you say? And you've come from the Academy with a message? Oh yes, him. Oh, he's still alive then. And he sent you with a report? Yes. Portafoy can take those for further study. And how was Derek? Is he... well? Kynes? The old planetologist. What does he want with Kynes' work? Oh, I see. I see what he's doing. He's trying to undermine me. He wants proof that Kynes wanted him in this position instead of me. He wants to show the Emperor that he's a better choice for planetologist. Well, it won't happen. Portafoy, destroy those Shigawai reels. And you, return to Derek and inform him that his request is denied. He will never have access to Kynes' research. Now, be gone from my sight.
you're back! Did he listen? Do I have access to the research of Kynes? Why? Why does it harm him to let me see the work that Kynes was doing? Did I ever tell you why I became a planetologist? My parents were peons, planet-bound servants. But the planet we lived on was barely populated. It was an agri-world, crops from pole to pole. We were responsible for almost the entire southern hemisphere. As long as the quotas were met, we were left alone. But I thought we could do more. So I begged my parents for sugar wire reels on farming and planetology. And more, I began to understand the relationships that govern systems. I found a way to increase our crop yields by 70%. House Alexin gained wealth, and I was sent to Kytane to study planetology in earnest. But on Kytane, perhaps we should speak of this another time. This business with Cyprian. It reminds me of my time on Kytane. Bad memories. I don't want to revisit my past anymore. I'm sorry. Return later. Oh. Hello. You've found me in a bit of a bind. I was continuing my work, exploring the testing stations, gathering data, checking their research. I wasn't expecting slavers. But even so, technically, this testing station is property of the Imperial. The slavers are the trespassers here. I tried to explain it to them. Then they threw me in here and told me I'd be transported to the slave pits of Neo-Karthag. No, wait, not yet. There is something more important here. This station was dedicated to botany, growing plants on Arrakis. After Cyprian rejected my petition for Kynes' research, I decided I didn't care. I'm not going to let some fop from Kytane tell me what to do. And this station, what they were trying to do here, aligns directly with what Kynes wanted me to do. So here I am. I just didn't expect the slavers. Just what you always do. Find the mnemic films and bring them to me. In return, I'll teach you more about planetology. Yes, good. I'll stay in the cage and do nothing. Probably for the best.
You've arrived at Botanical Testing Station number 76. I'm station.
The Huffaf vines are progressing well, and we can look forward to a good harvest of both Huffaf oil and Crimskull fiber. With careful cultivation, our yields should easily meet our requirements. But I will remind you once more of our bargain. I teach your slavers to make Crimskull bindings, and in exchange, I gain the right to sell the oil to the lens makers.
Attention, rope makers! Do not use your fingers to extract fibers from the vines. Crimscale fibers claw tighter as you pull. You will lose circulation and fingers. Fingerless workers have no value to our operation. Use the tools.
Your insistence on testing the products was distasteful, but the captive's attempt to kill me certainly made it more palatable. Despite his size, a single strand of crimscale rope was sufficient to completely restrain the subject. The more he struggled, the tighter it became. I can only assume from his howls of agony that the inkvine lash performed as intended. As a further note, a strand of crimscale placed around the throat is an effective means of silencing a prisoner. Any attempt at vigorous shouting causes the crimscale to draw tighter. Be warned, this will almost certainly prove fatal if coupled with the agony of inkvine blows.
It's good to see you. This cage isn't exactly comfortable. It's good to see you. This cage isn't exactly comfortable. It's good to see you.
You've arrived at botanical testing station number 7.
You can't hide. Breakout located.
A forceful blow from an ink-vine lash marks the target with a permanent beet-colored scar. But that's just the start of it. The ink-vine scar never quite heals, nor does the intense pain, which can linger on for many years or even decades. That's what makes the ink-vine lash so feared. The presence of an ink-vine lash should be enough to break even the most stubborn captive. Too many strokes will leave a victim crippled by pain and of little value in the slave markets.
You'll fetch a fine price. Shield on! Identify yourself.
You've arrived at Botanical Testing Station number 76. I'm Station Leader Rymar Thurring.
It's good to see you. This cage isn't exactly comfortable. Ah, then my business here is concluded. Brilliant. I don't suppose you found the key to this cage as well? Shade of the Emperor, that's good to hear. I was starting to worry that I was stuck here.
Might have a chance of
I've been thinking about the files we pulled from that last testing station. Yes, that's the one. The mnemic film contained the logs and inventory of the station. But after careful inspection, I believe it has been altered. I think somebody was manipulating the records at the testing stations, and it was someone who had access. I think it was Kynes. That's the puzzling part. By all accounts, Pardot Kynes was an excellent Imperial servant. But what of his child? So little is known. Cyprian Io has denied me access to Kynes' research. But what do we really know about Liet Kynes? Just that they died. But what if we could speak to someone who had met them? Someone who they reported to. That's it. We can use the houses to bypass Cyprian. Yes, exactly. Though, I doubt we have the political clout to gain an audience with the Duke Atreides or the Baron Harkonnen. But an adjunct? Kynes wouldn't have just spoken to anybody. It'd have to be someone high-ranking. Thufir Hawat or Peter de Vries springs to mind. You probably only need to speak to one of them, but find out what you can. I have a feeling that Liet Kynes might be the key to all of this.
You were expected. Don't look so shocked. As the Duke's master of assassins, I must know the movement of every grain of sand in Arrakis. You are free to roam the city as you please. Cause no trouble, and you'll never have to acquaint yourself with the more disturbing aspects of my title. I don't have many informants out in the Haga Basin, but I know you've been working with Derek Chinara. So I'll answer your questions about Kynes in return for some information about your friend Chinara. Yes? Then here is my first question. Does Derek Chinara have any affiliation with the Harkonnen? Thank you for the information. Ask your question about Kynes. Arrogant, wild, deeply intelligent, able to slip my spies at will and feign nonchalance. Kynes didn't care about our war. Not until the Fremen got caught in the crossfire. It was as if Kynes had a different agenda altogether. But now I believe it is my turn. Derek Chinara is interested in the Imperial testing stations. Why? Cyprian Io is a fool. But he is the Emperor's fool. If Derek has earned his wrath, he needs to be careful. Now, ask your question. Kynes would never say. Not the spice. Maybe anthropological work with the Fremen. Kynes was always with them. And applying my mentat faculties to it, I see a large probability that whatever Kynes was researching was near Sietch Taro in Haga Basin. Movement patterns, Sietch and lab visits. Highest probability is that Kynes was performing Fremen-oriented research out of Sietch Taro. Ah, but that's not the bargain. A question for a question. And here is mine. Why are you helping Derek Chinara? Well, learning is never to be discouraged. Still, I sense there is more than that. Never mind. Let me tell you about Sietch Taro. It's a Fremen place, though long destroyed by the Sardaukar. The Sietch itself was destroyed in the battle, but the entrance still exists. In Haga Basin, north of Misa Tiril, where the Udum meets the shield wall. That's all that remains of Kynes and Sietch Taro.
It's always good to see you, friend. Then you spoke to one of the houses? What did you learn? Siege Tarl? It's not somewhere I've heard of. Did you go there? Did you find anything? A memorial? The Fremen don't build anything like that for their dead. Was there anything else? This is a funeral chant, left by one of the Fremen. I think it was left for Kynes. It begins with a simple address. Liet Kynes, honored parent. Full moon calls thee, Shai-Hulud shall thou see. Red the night, dusky sky, bloody death didst thou die. We pray to a moon. She is round, luck with us will then abound. What we seek for shall be found in the land of solid ground. And it is signed, Cheney. What does this mean? I see what you are thinking. Yes, this must have been left after the pogrom, which means that not all the Fremen were destroyed. I don't know. Perhaps it was only a few individuals, or perhaps there is a hidden place. Who can say? But that is the next link in this chain. Kynes was working on something with the Fremen. Perhaps there are more answers there, but the Fremen are gone. I need to think about this, and what it means for my work. And here we are again, the old familiar places. Always, my friend, the tasks of Cyprian Io are long and arduous, but they bring me to places where I can further my own research. I need the mnemic film reels once more, but there's something else. By looking at the reports, I can pinpoint local testing stations. This is the area where Kynes was doing research. These testing stations might contain the key to what they were doing, with or without the Fremen. Thank you. Return the reels to me if you find them.
Welcome, honored guest.
Nico, surprise.
I'm not dead. I just figured we'd all end up that way if we kept at this stupid war. That fat pig of a Baron doesn't give a crap about us. So I found a way out. Not just out, but out. As in off-world. So here's the thing. We've got room for one more. If you're ready to leave this worm-riddled sandpit, just start spending time at that dive tea house in Windsack. I'll find you there.
Someone's here. Huh?
Still needed. Cosmetics to cover tattoos, all skin tones. Harco vendors have these civilian footwear. Arrakis vendors get everyone's sizes. Don't buy them from one place or all at the same time. Luggage. Aside from the bags, we'll need some civilian crap to fill them. They need to be convincing if searched by guild security. No military gear. No Harkonnen equipment. No mistakes.
Ellis, please contact the guild rep and arrange passage home for the employees whose records you'll find enclosed. This is everyone who is scheduled to rotate off-world this cycle. And no, your file is not included. You still have 2 more years of eating dust with the rest of us. Sorry.
Welcome, honored guest.
I don't like this place. There are secrets here, and the smell of desperation. Be careful.
Let's see here.
What can I say that hasn't been said before? You're my personal savior. In return, I will teach you more back at camp. Meet me there. You've returned. How can this humble botanist be of service? It was a dark place, but worth the effort. The old Imperium. They really were trying to terraform Arrakis, but they stopped. The melange. Its discovery changed everything. The entire trajectory of the Imperium. Arrakis became a one-crop planet. The dream was dust. At least, that's how it seems. But Kynes... I think Kynes wanted that old dream back. Anyway, let's focus on your training. Are you ready? Then listen closely. Life improves the capacity of the environment to sustain life. Life makes needed nutrients more readily available, aligned to nature and environment. Once again, you learn in hours what takes others months or years. Truly remarkable.
Greetings from Hassel Seraphim, Director of Desert Testing Station number 142. The mission of Station 142 is to explore this planet's seismic and volcanic history and outlook. We are further responsible for running extensive mineral.
My friends, had enough of the toil and hazards of spice harvesting? Tired of grinding your fingers to the bone so the nobles may feast while your family starves? Isn't it time some of that hard-won wealth is returned to you and yours? The Sandflies are a brotherhood of honest and loyal dudemen like you, who are simply sick and tired of breaking our backs for the wealthy when our loved ones suffer and die. Join us and help to share the spoils of Dune amongst those who risk their lives to harvest it. Dune men, be a force for change. Join the Sandflies today in the name of the people! A good thing going here, but you pushed it too far. You started to believe your own speeches. I thought you were smarter than that. Well, I was in Harko yesterday, and I overheard a pair of Harkonnen officers talking about the movement and mentioning the Red Scorpion. Not the Sandflies, but the Red Scorpion specifically. I know you like the attention. And now you're going to reap what you sow. If you're lucky, the house troopers will find you before the horde of Solari-hungry mercenaries. Me, I'm going back to the smugglers. Good luck, Red Scorpion. With the acquisition of those schematics, we should be able to begin full-scale fabrication of both the traders and Harkonnen weaponry. How fitting that
that their own designs would be turned against them. Of course, the acquisition of enough scrap or raw materials needed to produce sufficient weapons would risk drawing unwanted attention. Fortunately, the caves below are proving a rich source of most of the mineral resources required. In that, we see the superior planning of our great leader. With the Red Scorpion's guidance, we will soon have the heavy weapons and fighting vehicles we need to start the revolution in earnest. In the name of the people.
Our time is near. And while the Harkonnen and Atreides enjoy the privileges of Canley to indulge their ancient feuds, workers die in the fields, gathering the very wealth that supports them. Without us, they are nothing. They are few, we are legion. We are the people. And in the name of the people, I say it's time they take warning. It is time they learn this is Arrakis. Anything that you tread upon can be lethal. When a scorpion is ground beneath a heel, it strikes back, and its sting is deadly. Soon we will have the strength to show them. Soon we will have the strength to strike, and strike we will. In the name of the Red Scorpion, in the name of the Sandflies, and in the name of the people.
Coming for you, scum! Ha! Copy!
How did I not see this coming? I should have kept it small, worked in the shadows. Tanks and doctors, what was I thinking? Of course that was going to draw attention. Now it's just like the Duke's household all over again. I wanted to rise too far, too fast. And wouldn't my old comrades like to get a hold of Turgenhauer again? I'd be better off left to the tender mercies of the Harkonnen. Look, I'll find a way out of this. I mean, I always do. Maybe I can sell them out. Yeah. Make them think Norin is the man they're after. I mean, he's the kind of fool who'd happily die in my place if he thought it would help the cause. Yes. Yeah, that might work. I'm gonna have to work fast, though.
Greetings from Hassel Seraphim, Director of Desert Testing Station.
You're finally here. Good. I have work for you. Not exactly, but also yes. I learned from the last set of films that this lab is one of the few in the area where Kynes spent a lot of time. So my purpose here is twofold. Gather the mnemic films, but also search for signs of Kynes' research. I wasn't counting on the insane cult of sandworm worshippers when I came here, was I? I'm not equipped to deal with that. So yes, once more I beg for help. Find Kynes' notes and the mnemic films. I have more to teach you. I'll wait here and try not to be spotted by those crazy cultists. Did you find anything? Anything except crazed cultists, I mean? Most intriguing. Yes, that's exactly what I have been looking for. Research notes by Kynes. Finally! I'm going to need to head back to camp and decipher them. I'll meet you there for training and to discuss our next steps. You've returned. How can this humble botanist be of service? Naturally, but I wanted to ask you something first. Why are you helping me? What is it that drives you? I'm amazed by your capacity to retain what I am telling you, and the basic principles lead to practical applications. But here we are, middle of a dangerous desert, burning sun, raging sandworms, studying planetology. Here you are. Why? Really? There's more to you than meets the eye, my apprentice. Now listen closely. An ecosystem is a system. A system! A system maintains a certain fluid stability that can be destroyed by a misstep. Why the highest function of ecology is the understanding of consequences. There. I hope that you can put this new knowledge to use. Worm shit and sand. I just got a missive from Cyprian Io, Imperial Planetologist, king of the bastards. Ah, yes, you've had the honor. Very well, his request is simple. A report on my progress. But I don't think I can face him. Thanks. I don't think I am in the right mood to stomach that odious man. Worm shit and sand.
You seem vaguely familiar to me. Did we play Hide the Sandworm at the Salusan Ball last week? No, wait. You're that lackey who runs errands for Derek Chinara, aren't you? The one who's been helping him to undermine my position. Well, I have news for you. Your master's days are limited. Oh, another report. No doubt full of seditious nonsense. Is he still searching for Kynes? I did. Portavoy, remind me again why I would have asked... never mind. I remember. A distraction to draw Derek's friend here away. Well, it's for the better if Derek Chinara never returns from his survey of the testing stations. The past is the past, and like Kynes, should remain buried. The mercenaries that Portafoy hired will make sure of it, and there's nothing you can do about it. You are powerless here. The guild peace holds, and you'll be executed for any breach. Portafoy, I believe this one was just leaving.
About time you got here. Sorry about that. The mercenaries gave me a perfect excuse to disappear, slip the Imperial yoke, so to speak. I've finally woken up, friend. When those mercenaries came for me, I knew it was time to stop being meek. Kynes fought for Arrakis. So can I. According to Kynes' notes, this is where the majority of the terraforming research was being done. Kynes wasn't just working with the Fremen. Kynes was training them. It's our first lesson as planetologists. The most important tool is human beings. No. While I've found a lot of notes here, I still haven't found proof of my suppositions. It must be here somewhere. Yes, just one more time, and this might be the most important. See if you can find a Solido recording of Kynes lecturing to the Fremen. I'll be...
You've entered Desert Botanical Testing Station number 163. I'm Dr. Wen Olmeca, Senior Plant Geneticist here at the station. In the long...
Greetings, Ignis. I send this note to let you know we have been fortunate in the face of worms and weather, and have found some items I'm certain will interest you. We should be arriving at your excellent oasis in a matter of 2 or 3 days. I hope you will be able to accommodate us in the usual fashion.
Power, once again. I am not interested in your revolution. Please stop trying to recruit me or my men. As for the business we discussed, it turns out I have some of the vehicle components you're looking for. I would be open to supplying them to you at the right price. I've added notes to your list. But first, I'm missing 2 of my crew, Silas and Enoch. They went missing near your territory and are long overdue. Some of our guys think you may have bewitched them with your subversive nonsense. But I said, that's impossible. You wouldn't be stupid enough to cross us like that, would you?
Anil, imprint the following message in your bird and send it to the Sayadina at once. Revered Sayadina, we discovered one of the ancient testing stations brimming with water and occupied by scavengers. We have taken their water for Shai-Hulud. I ask for your command regarding this sacred bounty. Naib Jorba.
Sahib. The bird has returned bearing this message from the Sayadina.
Jorvan, Shai Hulud truly honors us. First with our victory at Maisa Turil, and now these rich spoils you have taken. Our blind brethren of the Ikhwan Bedouin would hoard that water for themselves. Such greed angers Shai Hulud. Small wonder they have fled away in shame. But we, the faithful, remain to serve the Maker in all things. What you have won will be his in good times. But more scavengers are certain to come seeking our prize. Remain and take their water as well. Nala.
You've entered Desert Botanical Testing Station number
You're back.
163.
Did you find anything?
I'm Dr. Wen Olmeca, senior plant geneticist here at the station. In
the
the
lecture?
long history of the
You've
Desert
done it.
Botanical Testing
If this
Station
is what I
program,
have been looking for,
there have been disappointingly few
it changes
successful species
everything.
introductions.
I'm just about done
But
here.
I'm proud
Meet
to
me
say
back at my
we
camp and
here
we'll
at
discuss
station
the
number
future.
163
Mine and
can boast
yours.
of several notable successes. Our efforts have produced several varieties of dew-absorbing cacti which show great promise. We have already documented in the field natural reproduction of our modified saguaros with Cielago bats active. We have every reason.
you are, my steadfast friend. Thank you for being by my side through this whole ordeal. Over? No. I'm imagining a beginning. What do you see out there? I see an Eden, waiting to be awakened. What Kynes had begun here. I want to finish it, to change the world, to bring life to the lifeless. I know you will. You see more than almost anyone I have ever met. Kynes had a dream. The Fremen had a dream. Now that dream belongs to us. Oh, we must study, learn all that Kynes knew, find the Fremen if we can. I must disappear from Imperial records, find true freedom. But before that, I believe that I owe you a final lesson. Please be attentive. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start. Transform the water cycle to build a new kind of landscape. And there you have it, friend. Our dream. I'm going to stay here and prepare a plan. But you must continue your journey. If you see Cyprian Io again, tell him I am dead. I will never return to the Imperium now. I'm going to search for the Fremen. I no longer believe they were wiped out. Stop by often. It is always good to see you. There you are, my steadfast friend. Thank you for being by my side through this whole ordeal. A beginning is the time for taking the most delicate care that the balances are correct. I think we're at the beginning of something. Tell me, what do you see out there? There you are, my steadfast friend. Derek Chinara, planetologist, botanist, and political exile, I'm afraid. I've been stuck out here for a while. I learned the hard way. Never say the wrong thing to someone from Kytane. Cyprian Io.